Now I'll just go through what's involved in setting up and looking after this turtle aquarium. So the turtle aquarium has got a turtle dock, and that will float up and down according to the water level. As you notice the turtle dock going down, see how it's right near the top now? If you notice it going down, you need to fill the water up again. Every time you fill the water up, it's really important that you put some water agent in the water, because we want to take the chlorine and chloramone and stuff out of the water. So I'm just going to pour a bit in there now, and then that's going to take out all your chlorine and chloramone and so forth, which is poisonous for the environment. So with the turtle tank, what we're doing really is trying to cultivate an environment. So that's got to go in every time we add new water. Now we're also going to want to add a little bit of GH. That's good for the turtle's immune system and stuff. So I'll just add a little bit. And then what we do recommend is on a semi-regular basis, particularly because this house is so close to our shop, bring a sample of water down and we'll tell you if your GH is high or low enough. Then we'll put a little bit of KH in there. Sydney tap water often has 0 KH, so we do like to add a little bit of that. So we've now prepared the water for the turtle. Now we're waiting for the temperature to get to 25 degrees. So there's a thermometer here, and we've got the heater in the back there. Now when the light is on with the heater, then the heater is running, and the light should turn off as soon as the tank gets to the desired temperature, which would be 25 degrees in this case. Now we've got a calcium block, which I've placed just there. Over time, you'll notice that calcium block disappear, and then every now and then you do want to replace it just to make sure you've got plenty of good calcium in the water, and we can actually test the calcium. Once you've added the water ager, you can add some good bacteria. Now what the good bacteria will do is just help to establish good bacteria, so then the turtle waste can get broken down by the bacteria. Now we've got some food for the turtle here, but I would also mix it with stuff like the frozen food as well, just to make sure that they are getting plenty of variety. The other thing that you can consider is what fish you could look at putting with the turtles. You could look at things like sucking catfish. It's got a heater, so you're not really restricted to what you can try. But just be aware that when you're mixing fish with turtles, a lot of it actually comes down to, will your dog get along with my dog? Now what I mean by that is that some turtles seem to go with the fish quite nicely, and other turtles will literally kill them. If you start off with fish, hardy fish, maybe like cichlids, good scavenging cichlids are a good thing to try with the turtle, but just be aware that it's either going to work or it's not going to work. So you could try a range of fish, but you need to be aware that it might not actually work. Now the other thing that we're really wanting is good surface agitation. So see the way this surface is getting well broken? We need to make sure the surface is broken to give the oxygen back into the water. And we've got a little jet here, and this little jet needs to be agitating the surface in order to give us our oxygen. So oxygen is very important. Then the water's going to go in through the bottom here. It's going to go past the heater. Now the heater is going to turn the light on when the heater's on. If the heater's ever out of the water, make sure you turn it off. And really watch this back area. Watch this corner and that corner over there, because as the water evaporates, you need to make sure you're topping it up again. Also look at the amount that's going down, because that floating dock will also go down. Now I've got a bit of filter wool here. When that filter wool's dirty, you chuck it out and put some more in. If you want really to put a turbo in this filter, you could put some poly filter here. Poly filter, instead of the filter wool, will adsorb and absorb anything impure out of the water, and will keep your turtle tank very clean of smell, and keep the water very clean. Now underneath there is some sponge. If you're going to wash that sponge, or the sponge and biological media in this side, when you wash it, you really want to wash it in water from the fish tank, not water from the tap. So what you'd be wanting to do is get a bucket, drain some water out, rinse the media in the bucket, and then throw the dirty water out, and then put the media back in again. And you could also consider in that last container here, you could put some Marine Pure. And Marine Pure offers parallel denitrification. So this tank comes with media when you buy it, but there is better media that you could add to it, especially as you get more fish and as you get more turtles. You might then decide that you want more filtration, and that's like throwing a turbo on it. The other thing I'd think about getting at one stage is this algae magnet, and you want to make sure you get the algae magnet with the scraper on it.
I know the one.
Yeah, the ones with the scrapers, like the flippers, they're really good. And then you can just leave that in there and just give it a clean whenever you want. It takes you literally 2 seconds. Now, as far as maintaining this is concerned, the first thing I need you to know is that if you're seeing anything that doesn't look right, then grab a sample of water and make a little video and come down and see us. Now, in the video, what we're really wanting to see is all your bits and pieces. We want to see all this stuff. We want to see the water flowing. We want to see this, the filter. We want to see it all so we can look at what's going on, and then we can test your water, because basically the quality of your animals is 50% due to water quality and 50% due to nutrients. So buy good quality food and make sure that you bring a water sample down, even if it's once every month or every few months. It's good just to get a little sample and let us actually check what the level's like. Now, as far as doing the maintenance is concerned, don't have the light on too much, otherwise you get too much algae. And you've got to make sure that there's no plastic in between the tube and the turtle. So the basking area is straight underneath the light. So the turtle is going to get up and bask. They don't really run around or anything. They might just sit there. When they're young, you might never see them out, because if there's vibrations in the house, often they actually won't come out. So that's pretty normal. Then this light tube has got gases in the light tube because it's a T8 tube. So over a year or so, make sure you replace that tube, because it really only works for the proper UV for about a year. So make sure that tube's being replaced. Now, as far as cleaning is concerned, in here is a scrubber that you can use for cleaning. Now, if you're lucky and you were able to get catfish, the catfish do a really good job cleaning, but you got to find out whether your turtle's going to eat the catfish or not. Sometimes they eat them, sometimes they don't. Then you've also got a gravel cleaner, and that gravel cleaner will allow you to get in there and pull all the crap out of the pebbles. And because these pebbles are quite large, because with turtles you either want these really large pebbles or they're super fine. The super fine's quite hard to clean, but what you want to do is, if you're ever in there, like wave your hand across the bottom. You really want to pull any crap out and use that gravel cleaner whenever you're doing a water change, and that allows you to siphon the water out, and that's perfect for your water changes. So how often you change the water is going to be governed by your water quality. So when you bring us a water sample down to Majestic Aquariums, we can test the water, and if the water is right, then you're all good. If you start getting elevated nitrate and phosphate and stuff, we might actually tell you to change it more often. But if you were prepared to do like at least a little bit of a change once every 2 weeks, that'd be fine. But if you don't have a lot of animals, you could probably get away with it once a month. If you end up with lots of fish and turtles and everything, then you're probably going to want to do it more regularly. And we can service the aquarium for you if you don't get time. So that's something just to bear in mind. Now, as far as the decorations are concerned, over time, if they get all algae and they look like crap, the best thing to do is throw it out in the sun for a day, and then the algae will dry up and fall off. Then turn it over, leave it for another day, and then hit it with a hose, and you'll be amazed how much nicer these ornaments come up. Now, the other thing to be aware of too is that this is the turtle's world, or any fish that live in there. So every now and then changing your decorations and putting a bit of live plant in sometimes so the turtle can eat it is a good idea. They love eating val, often known as turtle weed. So as far as redecorating, every 3 to 6 months it's good to get some different ornaments, swap it all around, and then not only is that more entertaining for you, it also gives the turtle something else to play around with. Now, over time, these animals are going to grow, so then you really, at that point, want to decide whether to move them on or whether to like create something bigger, maybe even outdoor for them. and change is king. So I'm really a big fan of setting it up, making it look good. After a year or two, if you find that you're not looking at it anymore, you really want to rehash it, change some fish, change some decorations, and then that keeps your interest up.